I never imagined that planning my own birthday would feel like staging a rebellion. But here I am, 28 years old, successful, independent, and yet standing on the precipice of what might be the most significant personal decision of my life. On the surface, my life is thriving. I work as a medical device development engineer, leading a groundbreaking project that could save thousands of lives. Just last month, my team won an Industry Innovation Award for a cardiac monitoring system that detects heart irregularities hours before a severe incident. It's a game changer, something that hospitals worldwide are already interested in adopting. My colleagues admire me, my friends celebrate my achievements, and my girlfriend Stephanie supports me in ways I never thought possible. Professionally, I couldn't ask for more. But when it comes to my family, I have never felt more invisible. You see, I grew up as the middle child in a family where I was little more than an afterthought. My older brother, Alex, was the golden child, the prodigy who could do no wrong. He became a cardiac surgeon at a prestigious hospital, and my parents practically worshipped him. My younger sister, Sophia, was the precious baby of the family, showered with love and affection at every turn. And me? I was the quiet, independent one. The one who didn't need attention. The one who didn't need grand gestures. The one who, according to my parents, was always just fine. Their favoritism wasn't subtle. When Alex turned 30, they rented an entire high-end restaurant for over 100 guests, ensuring everyone knew how proud they were of their future doctor. When Sophia turned 16, they transformed our backyard into a festival, complete with a live band, catering, and professional photographers. But when I was 16, I was lucky if my mom even remembered to buy a grocery store cake. The years passed, and nothing changed. I worked tirelessly in school, graduated as valedictorian, and got into one of the top engineering programs in the country. My parents barely noticed. When I graduated college, they handed me a gift card, while 2 years later, Sophia, with average grades, received a brand new car as a graduation present. When I told them about my award-winning medical project, my mother changed the subject mid-sentence to ask Alex about his surgery schedule. I used to tell myself that I didn't care, that their approval didn't matter. But deep down, every forgotten birthday, every dismissed achievement, and every ignored moment of my life stacked up inside me, brick by brick, until it built an unshakable wall of resentment. And that's why, for the first time in my life, I'm taking control. In 3 weeks, I'll be celebrating my birthday in the grandest way possible, a luxury cruise with 50 of my closest friends, relatives, and colleagues. A once-in-a-lifetime experience, a celebration of me. But my immediate family, they're not invited. Not only that, but at the grand celebration dinner, I have something special planned, a slideshow, a carefully curated presentation showcasing every forgotten birthday, every overlooked success, every moment where I was nothing more than a shadow in my own home. Side by side with these images, I'll place photos of my siblings' extravagant celebrations, just so everyone can see the stark contrast. Petty? Maybe. Necessary? Absolutely. For the first time in my life, I am refusing to be invisible. I am demanding to be seen. And if my family has a problem with that, well, perhaps they should have paid attention a little sooner. I don't think there was ever one defining moment that made me realize I was the forgotten child. It wasn't a single event, but rather a series of small wounds that over time became scars. I still remember my 8th birthday vividly. It was a warm spring evening, and I sat at the dinner table, excited but hesitant. A part of me knew what was coming, or rather, what wasn't. I had watched my parents throw a massive superhero-themed party for Alex just 2 weeks earlier. There were decorations, a magician, kids running around in capes, and my parents beaming with pride. That night, as we ate dinner, the conversation revolved around Alex's soccer tournament. They laughed, discussed his performance, and debated which professional league he might end up in one day. I waited, thinking maybe just maybe, someone would say something. But no one did. Finally, I gathered my courage and asked, "Did you guys forget it's my birthday?" My mom barely looked up from her phone. "Oh, sorry, honey. We've been so busy with Alex's tournament and Sophia's dance recital. We'll make it up to you next year." Then she went back to scrolling through photos of Alex's party, showing them off to the rest of the family. They never made it. Up to me. Not that year. Not any year. The pattern continued as I grew up. When I was 13, we were at a restaurant when the waitress asked if there were any upcoming birthdays. My mom actually laughed and said, "Oh, just his, but we're not doing anything major. He's not the type to require much." The entire table chuckled. I remember sitting there, my face burning, as if my existence itself was some kind of joke. The inequality wasn't just in birthdays, it was in everything. When Alex wanted a new gaming console, my parents drove 3 hours to another city to get it, saying, "Nothing is too much trouble for our future doctor." When I asked for a simple science kit from the local store for my school project, my mom dismissed it with, "That's too expensive right now." A week later, they bought Sophia an iPhone, not because she needed one, just because she casually mentioned she wanted it. The worst part wasn't even their neglect. It was the way they gaslit me every time I brought it up. "You're being too sensitive. We treat all of our kids equally. Maybe if you did something actually important." That last one was from Alex. He always said it with a smirk, like my entire existence was a joke to him. I tried to believe them. I told myself I was just imagining things, that maybe I was being too dramatic. But then my college graduation happened, and reality slapped me in the face. When Alex got into med school, my parents threw him a party that looked like a wedding. Reception, caterers, live music, banners that read Future Dr. Alexander. When Sophia graduated high school with average grades, they made a tribute video and bought her a brand new car. When I graduated from one of the top engineering schools in the country, valedictorian, with job offers from the biggest tech firms in the industry, I got a $50 Best Buy gift card. That was the moment I stopped making excuses for them. That was the moment I knew, without a doubt, that in their eyes, I was nothing more than the background character in Alex and Sophia's story. And that was the moment I decided I would write my own. You would think that by the time I became an adult, by the time I built something truly revolutionary, my parents would finally see me. They didn't. For the past 2 years, I've led a team of engineers in developing a cutting-edge heart monitoring device. This isn't just another piece of medical tech. It has the potential to save thousands of lives. Our AI-driven system detects minor cardiac irregularities up to 24 hours before a heart attack, giving doctors critical time to intervene. We were published in 3 major medical journals. We won an Industry Innovation Award. Hospitals were reaching out wanting to test our device in clinical trials. It was, without a doubt, the proudest achievement of my life. My parents? They didn't even bother showing up to the award ceremony. Every other team member had their families there. Fathers taking proud pictures, mothers crying tears of joy, siblings raising glasses of champagne in celebration. I sent my parents an invitation. They never responded. A week later, during our usual family video call, I tried to bring it up. "Hey, I wanted to tell you guys some big news." My mom cut me off mid-sentence. "Alex, what's your surgery schedule like this week?" The conversation then shifted into a 20-minute discussion about my sister's latest beach trip. No one even acknowledged what I was trying to say. When I finally forced the topic back, my dad muttered, "That's nice, son." Then he immediately changed the subject to how Alex might become the department head at his hospital soon. That was it. The single greatest achievement of my career, something that could change the face of cardiac medicine forever, was dismissed in 4 words. "That's nice, son." It hit me then harder than ever before. No matter what I did, no matter how successful I became, they would never care. Not really. That's when I made my decision. I was done waiting for their approval. For my 28th birthday, I would celebrate myself, the way I should have been celebrated all along, and I would do it without them. I had never planned an extravagant birthday before, but this time, I went all out. I booked a luxury cruise, one of the finest available. A full suite package, complete with private shore excursions, 5-star dining, and a lavish celebration. On board, I invited my extended family, my aunts, uncles, and cousins. I invited my closest friends. I invited Stephanie, who had been my rock through all of this. But my parents, Alex, Sophia, not a chance. The invitations were sent. People RSVP'd almost immediately, thrilled to be part of something special. My Aunt Susan, who had always been the most understanding, called me personally. "I'm so proud of you for doing this," she said, "for finally standing up for yourself." Not everyone was supportive, though. Some relatives called me petty, immature, said I was trying to stir up drama, and then came the calls from my parents. My mom left voicemails, switching between guilt-tripping, "How could you do this to your own mother?" and outright threats. "You'll regret this, young man." My dad sent his usual passive-aggressive texts. "You're tearing this family apart." Alex called me childish and told me to grow up and accept that some people just achieve more in life. Sophia, she took to social media, posting some vague nonsense about toxic siblings who can't handle other people's success. I ignored all of it. I had one final touch planned for my celebration, something that would make sure they finally understood what they had done to me. During the cruise's grand dinner, I would present a slideshow. Not just any slideshow, a carefully crafted visual reminder of every birthday they forgot, every accomplishment they overlooked, every moment I had been nothing more than an afterthought. Side by side, I would show the reality, a picture of me, sitting alone at my 10th birthday dinner. Next to it, a photo of Alex's grand superhero-themed party, a photo of my high school, graduation, barely acknowledged. Next to it, Sophia's graduation, complete with professional photographers and a brand new car. Me, standing alone after my award-winning presentation. Next to it, the massive party they threw for Alex's medical school acceptance. Was it petty? Maybe. But for the first time in my life, I wasn't going to be ignored, and whether they liked it or not, this time, they were going to see me. The cruise was everything I had hoped for, and more. Almost everyone who RSVP'd showed up. Friends, extended family, even a few colleagues who had seen firsthand how hard I worked and how little recognition I got from my own parents. For the first time in my life, I was surrounded by people who genuinely wanted to celebrate me. The first night, during the grand welcome dinner, I stepped up to give my toast. I took a deep breath, raised my glass, and said, "Tonight, we celebrate new beginnings. We celebrate those who stand by us, who see us, and who choose to be part of our lives, not because they have to, but because they want to." Then I pressed play on the slideshow. The moment the first image appeared on the screen, the room went silent. A photo of my 10th birthday. An empty table. A store-bought cake with candles that had already melted from waiting too long. Next to it, a picture of Alex's superhero party. Kids laughing, parents cheering, my mom and dad glowing with pride. Then my high school graduation. A blurry picture taken from a distance, because no one had bothered to get close enough to capture the moment. Next to it, Sophia's graduation, her standing next to a shiny new car, surrounded by banners and balloons. Slide after slide, the pattern became painfully obvious. By the time it ended, I could see my Aunt Carol dabbing at her eyes. "I never realized," she murmured, shaking her head. My Uncle Robert, a hospital administrator, pulled me aside afterward. "Your work, your invention, I'd love to discuss bringing it into our facility," he said. "It's incredible what you've accomplished." It was ironic. My parents had spent years dismissing my success, But now that someone outside the family was recognizing it, suddenly it mattered, and that's when things took a turn. Because my mother, she wasn't about to let me have my moment. It happened on the second day of the cruise. We had just docked at our first port when security approached me. "Sir, we have a woman insisting she's a surprise guest for your celebration," one of them said. I frowned. Who? And then, before I could even process what was happening, she was there, my mother. Somehow, she had convinced the cruise line to let her on. She had shown them pictures of me on her phone, proof that she was my mother, and now she was storming into our lunch gathering, mascara running, voice shrill with fury. "How could you do this to me?" she cried. "After all we've done for you?" The entire restaurant fell silent. Stephanie stood up immediately. "You need to leave." But my mother wasn't listening. She turned on me, her voice shaking with rage. "You ungrateful, hateful child! Do you have any idea how much this is hurting us?" I didn't flinch. "Do you have any idea how much you've hurt me?" I asked, my voice calm. She gasped, like I had slapped her. "We treated all of you equally." At that moment, someone else spoke, Aunt Margaret, the quietest, most soft-spoken member of our family. "Enough, Helen," she said firmly, stepping forward. "We've all seen it. We've all watched you favor Alex and Sophia for years. We didn't say anything because we didn't want to interfere, but this is over." More voices joined in. "You never even showed up for his award ceremony. I always wondered why you treated him so differently. He deserved better than this." My mother's face turned red. I can't believe this," she stammered. "You're all turning against me." "No," I said quietly. "You turned against me a long time ago." She left in tears, but the fallout, that was only just beginning. That night, Alex and Sophia went on a social media rampage. They posted childhood pictures with captions like, "Some people just can't handle other people's success, and toxic siblings will always find a way to play the victim." But it backfired, because, for the first time, people were paying attention. Distant relatives started commenting, calling them out. "Didn't you get a brand new car for graduation while he got a gift card? Wasn't he valedictorian and you guys didn't even throw him a party?" Even family friends, people who had known us for years, began to speak up. It was like the illusion had finally shattered. The next day, when the cruise ended, I turned on my phone to see 30 missed calls from my parents. Then, a long email from my father. For the first time, he admitted it. We focused more on Alex because he was following the family medical tradition. We focused on Sophia because she needed extra support. "You were always so independent and capable. We thought you didn't need the attention." And there it was. Not an apology. Not an acknowledgement of the pain they had caused. Just an excuse. That was all I needed to know. I blocked them. Blocked my siblings. Created email filters for my parents. And for the first time in my life, I felt free. 6 months later, I had moved to a new city. Stephanie and I were engaged. My employer had promoted me to lead our company's West Coast expansion, and hospitals were already seeing success with our device. My parents tried one last time to interfere, crashing. Our wedding venue tours, demanding to be included in the planning, we cut them off completely. When the wedding day arrived, we had security at the venue, and despite everything, despite all their efforts to sabotage our happiness, it was perfect. As Stephanie and I stood together, surrounded by people who genuinely loved and supported us, I realized something. I had spent my entire life chasing after a family that never truly saw me. But family isn't just the people you're born to. It's the people who choose to stand beside you, and the people I had chosen, they saw me. They celebrated me. And for the first time in my life, I wasn't invisible anymore. Thank you. Watching. If you like this story, don't forget to subscribe for more real-life dramas. Sometimes walking away isn't about giving up. It's about choosing peace.